Okay, hello out there in the ether. How's it going? Just getting ready to begin the game here. Can't see me super well. It's so bright in here. That's okay. Let me see, can I adjust and turn my light? I forgot I wanted to turn my light off. Made it. Okay. So, for anybody who's watching today, who didn't watch yesterday, this is a really cute pixel art game. It says a sci-fi romance adventure. It's been kind of a mystery too. Basically, we are the lone survivor on a base in space, and we're trying to figure out what happened. We're trying to get home because the base is going to run out of supplies and stuff because the planet is kind of destroying it within a couple of weeks' time. And we're doing it by finding clues and then also talking to like holographic representations of people who have died on the planet. So it's been pretty cool. The lighting in here is going to be a little screwy. I apologize. I really like the mood lighting outside. But as long as I sit up, it's not going to look too bad. Ugh. Okay. That's kind of the sum up. We last stream met 2 of the 4 characters, I assume, that are romanceable. One's named Winnie. I don't remember the other guy's name. But if you want a recap of what's going on, it's also in the video description. But with that, let me just check on one other thing. Yep, all of that stuff's good. Stream looks good. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to continue. This picks up right where we left off last stream. We had just talked to the second hologram and went to bed. I'm going to try to remember the voices I did yesterday, but I might not remember the voices I did yesterday. So it's, how did I make the robot talk? It was, good morning once again. The holograms seem very motivated. Did you have an enjoyable time last night? You bet. Excellent. Our decision to augment our efforts with the holograms is proving to be the right one. This is great news. I do, okay. Sorry. As long as they feel inspired to aid you, I believe they will excel in their work. Please keep this in mind. There are 2 more areas you can explore to further our goal. come see me in the core again, and you can begin your day. Still got our stylish scarf. That's the most important thing. I wish I knew why the lights did that. Like, is that just an animation effect, or is that mean something? They have the sparkles. Ah! Let's go check out the mess hall. I want to see if the mess hall looks different today. I'm obsessed with checking out this mess hall. Does not look like there's anything new to interact in here. This tells me stuff. The ship's thrusters still need a lot of work, but your scans from yesterday have given me at least a place to start. Mr. Togg's work report was late this morning. Apparently he's not used to reporting to higher authorities regarding work just yet. He claimed it was because of the schematics you brought him, gave him extra inspiration. He seemed quite pleased with your time together. I hope he'll be able to keep focused as you complete your missions. We need him in top form if we're going to stand a chance. So that just means we did good. Bear! Welcome, Bear. Welcome, Bear. Bear, you have not missed much on today's stream. If you or anyone else in the chat needs a refresher, or missed some of yesterday, I put kind of the most important things in the description. I love all these little animations, like the little sparklies, the steam. Like I was saying yesterday, I love modern day pixel art games because there's just something wonderful about when a game doesn't really need to be pixel art. You know, it can do so much with the game. It's really cool. Alright, I'm gonna go back to the core. To the core. There are still 2 more areas I'd like you to check out while we can. Please go south to the shuttle bay to choose your mission for today. Remember, when you choose the area, you can see which hologram is associated with that area, if that is important to you. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're going to go to all 4 eventually. So I don't know that it necessarily matters. I was thinking about going to the dome that has the other lady in it. That way we meet a chick, meet a dude, meet a chick, meet a dude. Just cuz. Unless anybody has a strong opinion, that means we'd be going here today to the agrodomes to meet Leslie. This is probably in-game area because this has never been accessible. But we could also go to the caves to meet Jean. I'm assuming that's Jean. I'm assuming you would pronounce it the French way and not Jean. And we've completed the missions in these 2 places. So I've seen no true objections. So I'm just going to go to the agrodomes to meet Leslie. Agrodomes. I love this. The little sound effects are great. Whoosh. Oh, there's a flashing light there in the back. I don't know if that's always been there, if I just didn't notice it before. This is the main grow dome in the facility, where the colonists used to activate hydroponics to grow the basis foods for processing. You can't see any of it from the ground, but the top of the building is like a giant round basin. It was designed to catch rainfall and collect it. The top layer of the building processes the rain to remove its acidic elements and treat it to be potable and suitable for plants. Once you're inside, you should be able to see the various grow rooms, but my readings seem off. Something is not entirely right. Noted. We still have the stylish scarf, and that's the most important thing. Okay, there's nothing fun and random. I like these glowing lights. I'm sure they added a lot and were useful. That's not right. The decontamination chamber shouldn't be... you're in should be scanning you and cleaning the air of toxins before you enter to protect the operation inside. It doesn't appear to be working correctly. Be careful in there. It's like a half of... Is this like the bottom half of a seahorse? Looks like the bottom half of a seahorse. Alright, let's go in. Based on what I'm reading, the facility seems to be in quite a state. Remember, we're here to find any salvageable plant samples that we can use to keep the food in the processors running here until we escape. But first, you should find something that would indicate what the crew were dealing with. Try to understand the research notes on the tables or desks. Alright, I don't know, sounds pretty basic. Like this stuff? Hand-drawn notes. Those research notes, handwritten by multiple people. Things must have been chaotic. Based on these things, I can confirm 2 of the crew members. Leslie, of course, and the facility manager. As the facility manager, she was always on duty, and she would have been here to the very end. And Ashley Hainsworth, the chief genetics researcher. She and Miss Baradjwa. She and Leslie had very different points of view, and their personal logs were if their personal logs were any indication. Personal? Oh, I didn't pry into personal communications. Well, not while they were alive, at least, but in the past, I've been looking into everything. Leslie was an excellent leader, though a bit of a reluctant one. She preferred consultation with her subordinates and open discussion. Ashley, on the other hand, felt that the leadership required a stronger hand, and as the situation got worse, their differences became more pronounced. Well, that's exciting. Everything in this game is about, like, things that are hand-drawn, or paper that's paper and not like an e-reader. Leafy Chamber 2? If they're numbered, let's go in numerical order. I'm less likely to get lost. Can I get over here? Okay, Leafy Chamber 1 is inaccessible. Okay, well, that's nice. Legume Chamber... Oh, wait. What? Leafy Chamber 1 and Legume Chamber 2. Whatever. We're gonna go in there. Ooh, this is neat. Look at note. It's a note from the horticultural technician, Florence Marchand. Please note, solution tubes are leaking due to faulty seals. New ones are being printed and will be installed. I know it sucks, but I'm backed up with repair requests. I like how sucks is in all caps. Is it going to say anything different if I look at it again? Nope. This giant plant is covering up so much of what I want to look at. What do we got over here? Nothing really seems to be interactable in this room besides that note. So it must just be... Am I missing something? I don't think so. Alright. Maybe... Either there just might not be anything else in this room. Or maybe this room becomes more accessible later after I do other things. So then what's this room? Roots and Tubers Chamber. That sounds exciting. It looks like a seismic event collapsed one of the walls here, though you may be able to squeeze through. That's exciting. Ah, a body! Oh no! I just put food in my mouth. Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry, Chiquita. You appear to have found the corpse of Arlo Jaeger. The production supervisor. His body is trapped beneath the rubble from the wall. It looks like he attempted to keep himself alive with the produce in that room, but either the tainted crops got the better of him, or help simply never came. That's sad. Okay, that's what it meant by I could pass through the rubble. I will try, but I want to look around the rest of the room first. Man, there's a lot of good stuff in here. Okay, let's go in here. Note. It's a note from the horticultural technician, Florence Merchant. Special ventilation for this room is permanently shut down. Nothing we can do about it. There is an addition. If you two could have stopped your bickering, then maybe you'd have done your job. These crops wouldn't have failed. Hoo-hoo. Throw in some shade. My scarf is great. My scarf is the best scarf. I love my scarf, 'cause it is the best scarf. Okay, there's nothing over here apparently. I can't even walk all the way to the wall. That goes back. Okay, so there's still nothing going on here other than I'm reading these notes. Interesting. That sound freaks me out. Okay. There's still nothing going on. It's not been like this game to have a whole bunch of rooms with, like, not a lot going on. So it must be I have to go in a specific room and do a specific thing, and then the rest of the rooms will behave. Oh, here we go. Okay, that's inaccessible. Agroponics Dome Administration and Leafy Green Chamber 2. Let's try this out. What do we got? A bunch of dead plants. I really like this area though. I love levels that have like a lot of greens on them. Like it makes me feel like my favorite level in BioShock is Arcadia. There are flowers growing from the base of the vines. They appear to either be resistant to the toxins that have invaded the dome or are a result of them. Likely they took root within the filtration and drainage systems below and crawled their way through the grate. Okay, that's a fun fact, but can that help me with anything? Nothing over here. I see the note. Bobcat's here. Welcome, Bobcat. How are you? You haven't missed a whole lot. I just fired this up a little bit ago. We are at the Agroponics Dome to learn things about Leslie, and we're trying to figure out what's going on here. That's a note from Florence. It's Florence, not Florence. I've been saying that wrong. Florence Merchant, the horticultural technician. It reads, the ceiling tracks were damaged by the sudden growth of vines. Due to damage, auto sprinklers haven't been able to move correctly. This room is probably beyond repair. He is just very mad, or she. This person is just very mad because the two people running this area. Dale's here too. Welcome, Dale. Neither of you have missed a whole lot. Like I said, from the stream, we're just exploring the agroponics section. Okay, this appears to be a room. Look, they have a bookcase like mine. There are an assortment of reference texts as well as leisure reading on the shelf. There's also a collection of holo tapes. Oh my, they look to be bootleg movies. Uh-oh, someone was a space pirate. There are drama and action and even romance films. All entirely legal copies that someone must have covertly brought with them or scanned via the interspace net. If the situation wasn't so dire, I would be inclined to note this on my next report to the HC Mission Control, but given the circumstances, that hardly seems a priority. Someone... And John's here! John, welcome! Good to see you, my friend. Look at that, I love the walk cycle. I love this scarf. I was commenting on this last time I was streaming it. This scarf is awesome. I can give you the rundown of what we're doing. I have put a short blurb about what's going on in the description. But basically, we are the last survivor on a space station that is going to die in the station is going to die in 3 weeks. And we're trying to get out. And we were kind of commenting, it was a little bit like Soma. It's like, there's these holographic recreations of people who had died on the station. And it's part mystery and figuring out what's going on at the station. It's part figuring out how to get off the station. And it's also part falling in love with a hologram. So, you know, it's been a little bit of everything. Well, that wall-mounted cot is similar to your own bed. It was meant for short-term rests for the colonists who worked there. Sometimes longer than normal hours were required, and the break room was used as a temporary sleeping quarters often. You mean I have a temporary bed in my, like, actual quarters? Who did that? Anyway, hope you're doing well today. What do we got here? Good work. You found something that can help us. According to these notes, a toxin of some kind compromised the whole facility, impacting food growth. There's a detailed analysis of the toxin here. I might be able to use these formulae to reconfigure your scanner. Yes, this will work. You should be able to scan whatever plant life you come across now and determine if it's suitable for processing. We need to find the specimens that are at least 60% viable for processing. Okay, good. So now all those empty rooms that I've already been in, I can go back in and do something in now. So, you know. What are you gonna do? Okay, what do we got here? Good find. That datapad still has some power left. and doesn't seem to be password protected. Let's see if there's anything of use. It could contain a private chat thread between Ashley, the chief genetics researcher, and Arlo, the production supervisor. I'll read it for you. This is a very, this AI is just very nosy. Hold on, I can't read all of chat now. There we go. You're waiting for the plot twist where you find out your character is also... I feel like either I'm going to be a hologram, or a robot, or maybe I'm not even human and I'm an alien. Because I'm just really suspect with how my character looks. I'm always in a space suit that I never take off, and I have these glowing eyes. So now Ashley, so now you see what I mean? Yeah, it's like she's afraid to make a decision. Exactly. She seems to freeze when things like this happen. I agree. This situation with the toxins needs to be dealt with more quickly. Don't be so diplomatic. You're sounding like her. I think we have a huge problem here. She needs to make a decision. That chat log ends there. It seems like some of Leslie's subordinates didn't agree with her leadership style. Look at us just reading everybody's things. What do we got? It's a note from Florent again. Use of the processing machine without my say-so is expressly forbidden. Since you keep going around my back, I've password locked it. You want in? Pay attention to my warnings next time. Wow, that guy is so passive-aggressive. He or she, they are high-key... I don't know what kind of name Florent is, so... They are, high-key just leaving passive-aggressive notes everywhere, and it's pretty amazing. Okay, now that we've done the doodads, we can go to the other rooms and do the other doodads. Is there anything over here now? I want to get to this door. There's a giant plant in the way, and it upsets me. Okay, what about this? Unknown plant type. Well, this is a surprise. This plant is entirely unknown, not from one of the varieties commonly grown in the domes. However, it has thrived in the toxic environment. Your scan shows it's 92% viable for processing. Heck yeah, first try. First try. This is my first try dance. Okay, let's go back in here. Leafy greens, chamber 2. I'm gonna guess none of these are at least 60% viable. Just a guess. What about this guy? This is promising. That spinach is generally rich from nutrients. Lab modifications have made it exceptionally so. It's been compromised somewhat by the environment, but we can still use some of it. It is 61% viable for processing. Do I have to have spinach, though? Can I find a different plant? Do you have to give me space spinach? I'm guessing. I just live for these passive-aggressive notes. This room is probably beyond repair. Okay. These are probably not viable, because they look dead. You've scanned a There's so many words in this I have never had to say out loud before. You've scanned rampion, an ancient earth vegetable. Geneticists recently revived the strain for its hardiness and nutrition. Excellent work. This leafy green is still 75% viable. Wow, this is not taking long. I'm so good at this. I'm just walking in one room and finding everything. I'm the best space explorer. Nolan's back! Nolan! Welcome back. We are exploring a new plot line. We're in a hydroponics lab. Looking at plants. Doing cool plant things. There's a lot of passive aggression going on here. Think you dig it? Okay, what do we got? You've scanned some modified potatoes. That's a potato? Their rich color comes from an extra vitamin and minerals they carry. It looks like these potatoes were heavily affected by the toxin. They're only 35% viable for processing. Well, sucks to be potatoes then. I would have way rather had potatoes than spinach though. Just saying. There's the dead guy. Was this where there was the... Yeah, this had the space I could go through. That's a pretty healthy looking plant. Can I scan it? Yeah, I can. Unknown species of flowers has sprung up in this hydroponic system. It appears to have mutated from another strain. I'm checking the flowers again to see if these are even viable as a food source. It appears not. They're too alien for our systems. The flowers are barely 5% viable for processing. Sucks to be flowers. Can I really not walk through there? That's annoying. That potato it's a gigantic potato. Like, that is just the biggest potato. Read the note. Is there anything else going on in this room? I don't think so. Let's go back through the rubble. That sound we're going through the rubble, like, freaks me out a little bit. I mean, that really is a gigantic potato. Can I still not? I still cannot go in there. Can I go in here? I could before. There we go. Legumes Chamber 2. It's a pretty viable looking plant, I'm not gonna lie. Lentil plants still look fairly vibrant. The surface details suggest it's mostly intact. Yes, the scan confirms it. Excellent find. The plant is 89% viable for processing. Yay! I think I only needed to find 4, but it's not telling me I'm done. Maybe I do have to scan everything. I am not a botanist now, but I'm at the place with the botanist. Well, you need to be a botanist to survive alone in a field. I mean, that's what the Martian taught us. Those green bean vines were once fast-growing and efficient, but they appear to be withered and dry now. Unfortunately, the scan confirms that they're not even 7% viable for processing. That's really too bad. I think I've been in all the places. So the fact that I'm not getting more instruction is slightly concerning. But maybe I will get more instruction when I leave the room. It is a good movie. The vines have really taken root there. You won't be able to get through right now. Okay, well, that doesn't help me. Is there... I mean, I've been in here, right? Pretty sure I did. This is where the potatoes were. Yeah, this is the potato room. I've heard the book is really good too, Bobcat. I've not read the book, but I've heard good things. Okay. I feel like I've done everything. What should I be doing now? You need to keep searching for plants we can use for food processing. Scan the plants. Okay, but I feel like I've been in all the rooms. I have to find a way to get the vines out of my way. Do I interact? The machine has timed out, and it requires a passcode to unlock it. Do you want to enter the passcode? Never mind. Okay. Oh. Hold on. This is what we're supposed to do. We have to go through and look at all his notes again. And I bet when we get in that machine, we can do something that moves the vines. That's what we gotta do. Okay. Use of processing machine without my say-so is expressly forbidden. Since you're gonna keep going around my back, I password locked it. You want to pay attention to my warnings next time. So we have to go look at his warnings. So we go read all of his passive-aggressive notes and it'll give us a clue. That's what we gotta do. Right? If only. That would make it all so much easier. Okay, so here's a note. The ceiling tracks were damaged by the sudden growth of vines. This. Okay, somebody help me keep track of these words, because I think it's whatever word is in all caps, because I noticed that with the word sucks in the other room. Whatever room is in all caps, or whatever word's in all caps is the for the password. So this word is this. This room is probably beyond repair. My short-term memory just might not allow me to actually remember all the words. So we go back in here. Was there a note in this room, or did I have to... No, I had to go in here. Okay, so this... special ventilation for this room is shut down. Job. Okay, job is in all caps. Sarge is gonna be so mad she's not here. I tried to tell her when I was streaming. She got so invested in this yesterday. Okay, and then this note is sucks. Okay, so it's probably the password is probably this job sucks. I think that's all the rooms. I don't think there's any other rooms I can get in right now. There are not. Okay. Let's do it. This job sucks. Hey, hey! That is the password. Is processing. It's a processing machine. The colonists would have taken crops and turned them into raw materials for food processors and life support systems. However, it looks like it's been reconfigured, judging by the data. Miss Baraja, Leslie, and her crew were trying to create a herbicide to fight off the invasive vines. It looks like they partially succeeded, but they may have had to abandon the dome before their work was finished. Why? It's a great password. Likely, another seismic event forced them out. Someone began an automated procedure here, but didn't collect the results. By activating the machine again, you've confirmed the procedure. According to this, a successful herbicide was made. The machine should dispense it in the slot beside you. Heck yeah. Ooh. See, again, that's what my face looks like. There's something up with me. The herbicide can be applied directly to the vines. Are there any areas? Yeah, there are. There are actually several, in fact. Let's go. Starting with this one. Let's see what happens when you apply the herbicide to those vines. They just float up. That is not my password at work. I'm not so bold. The vines seem to have recessed. You can access that area now. Heck yeah. The printed photograph is faded and damaged, but I can still make out its general image. It appears to be of a breed of canine known as a corgi. The dog is at an earth farm of some kind. Corgis are often used for small-scale herding of animals, such as bovines. Their diminutive stature allows them to avoid being kicked. Maybe Leslie knows something about this dog. Maybe you can ask it about it when you see her tonight in the holosim chamber. Who's the Wolfpack member that really wants a corgi? Is it Stella? I think it's Stella. Okay, so I probably need to scan these things. Scanning. That broken bulb contains this game is challenging me with words I can't say, which was often used as a caffeine substitute. The flowers look fairly healthy. Unfortunately, prolonged exposure to the air polluted the water there. And polluted water there means the plant is only 23% viable. What about this one? These were flowers that Leslie was growing. She seemed to be using a substantial resource purely for aesthetic purposes. A certain percentage of the dome production time and materials were dedicated to this for psychological and community purposes. I don't believe this effort, however, was within the allotted amounts. Leslie seems to have taken quite an interest in the flowers. What is unclear, however, is whether these were grown during normal production or after the toxins set in. Either way, the broken bulb has been too greatly affected. We cannot use them for this purpose. That's annoying. Can I get in a bulb? Is there really nothing in here I can scan? Like, is there really nothing in this room besides the picture of the dog? Apparently. Well, okay. Just make up my own word. I can do that. That is within my abilities. Let's go in here. Let's apply the herbicide and see what happens. The vines seem to have recessed. You have access to that area now. Leafy Greens, Chamber 1. Ooh, a dead body. Hello. Body of Florent. Oh, it's the cranky person. I regret to inform you that you've discovered the body of Florent Burchett, horticultural technician. His remains are quite old, and your scan reveals very little of how he died. There appears to be several severe trauma to his skull that could have been from a heavy blow or sudden impact, as if he fell. There's a ladder there that suggests he was using it to repair something, but I can't be sure. So he could have been murdered, or the ladder could be a red herring, or it could be how he was murdered. Who can say? That is a specifically modified garden cress. This variety is far more nutritious than its natural version. It looks like it's the only plant that survived. But we're in luck. It's 78% viable for processing. Well, it seems you've scanned everything you're going to find there. There isn't much more you can do. It's unfortunate the facility is in such poor shape. At least you were able to salvage something for your food supply. This doesn't solve our long-term goal of stocking the escape ship, but at least it stabilizes things while we're working. When you're ready, head back to the shuttle and plot a course for home. That'll be it for today. Okay, but let's explore more. At every location, there's been like one thing you can do extra for like when you talk to the person, and I think it's finding the picture of the dogs. Because like in theory, I could have come here first and not gone in the other room. So this location went much faster than any of the other ones did. Is there anything to do back in here now that I've finished? Does not appear so. We've already looked at the note. Oh, okay. Oh, cool. That's everything. Let's head back. So many doors. The poisonous plants that have invaded that dome are strange indeed. We were fortunate to even find a few samples that we did for our use. It looks like Leslie and her staff were scrambling to figure out how to combat the toxin and revive the food. After the Rift event, so many things fell apart. We're discovering more and more evidence of that. I suppose there's nothing more to be done there. You should get back home and figure out of that rain. Alright, so let's look. We still can't go there, or there, or there, or there. Only option is to go home. Okay. I know who destroyed this place. It was the old canon people unwilling to accept it. Yes, they had a riot. I agree. All right, we are home. Hold on. That was a long day, wasn't it? Come see me right away so we can get your mission scans sorted. Whee! My other favorite thing is when you idle, he just kind of bounces up and down. Cracks me up. Disney destroyed this place just like the Star Wars canon. Uh-oh, we got a fight going. Was it Disney or old canon that destroyed the base? Will we ever know? Yeah, he kind of did. He had no interest in the old EU. He didn't really, to be honest, Lucas didn't even consider the old EU canon. It was like the company that did. That's why when he started doing the prequels, he overwrote a lot of it. When he started doing the Clone Wars, he overwrote even more of it. Okay, all the data you collected today is synced and ready to be worked on. You did well out there. Since you went to the Agrodomes, you'll be able to visit Leslie in the Holocene chamber tonight. You can retire to your quarters, and then we read this every time. Oh, Disney disguised as old canon destroyed the base. I'm living for it. I think we solved it. Mass impersonation. Okay, still... I feel like this place gets dirtier every time I come in. Do I ever get to go in this room? Probably not. Well, time to go to sleep. They've done it before, look at the MCU. Hey, Spider-Man's back in the MCU, though. Marvel's Cinematic Universe. It's time, Chiquita. The hollow sim chamber is ready for you. Just head in when you're ready. Have a good evening. This is so creepy. Wake me up in the middle of the night for like a digital booty call. So strange. Alright, now that we've gone through all the doors, let's go in. Time to meet Leslie. Ooh. Well, hello. Alright, I need a voice for Leslie. Disney didn't have control over Deadpool. Disney didn't own Deadpool yet. Or maybe I'm missing the joke. Alright. Hello there. It's so... Let's see, I'm trying to not make the voice, like the same voice I made for the other chick. What was the other voice? So I need to do like... Hello there. It's so nice to finally get to meet you. I'm aware of your trip today, at least partly. How did the mission go? It was difficult. Oh, yes. I remember there was quite a bit of decay and destruction. That must have been tough. Oh, Sarge's gonna be mad. He's sitting the same way again. She loves that pose. I've just been here tending my garden. It's odd now that I'm, well, this, I guess. Now that I finally get to do what I love. I don't even know what this accent is, so I apologize. Back in the agrodomes, we were under a lot of pressure. Managing the staff and operations was so important, but if I'm being honest, I always liked the plants. It was always the plants that I loved. The process of it, the puzzle of it all, you know? Yeah, plants are a puzzle, that is for sure. Like, I get you. Really? That's comforting. In a way, you're still the director of... When you're the director of an operation like that, it's hard to find people who will share your passions. When I signed up to come out here, I was thrilled with the idea of cultivating and nurturing an entire ecosystem. I mean, HC had the plan of course, but there were stages to terraforming, and the ultimate one being really the creation of life. Just imagine it. Whole world, green, lush, vibrant, just like the earth used to be. Then the promise of that kept me going every day. All I ever wanted to do was work with plants. Do you know what I mean? Tell me more. Well, you know, the others were obsessed with radios or drones or ships, but with me, it's always been about plants. When I was little, my family had a small farm, one of the few that were left. By then, agriculture was almost entirely automated. It was illegal to sell crops we produced. Too much regulation, too many companies controlling our food. You probably remember that. So we were only able to feed ourselves, which was also technically illegal. Everything we grew was natural, well, as close as we could get. But after my parents died, we couldn't afford to keep the farm to fend off the legal challenges from companies who claimed we were stealing patented seeds. Somehow I found my way here. HC gave me my labs, gave me farmland, let me set up a greenhouse. All of the rations we had here, those were all designed by my lab, tested in my fields. All I ever wanted was to work with plants. Do you know what I mean? You miss the days when 64 was top of the line? How so? No. How so? Well, it's like anything else. It's rewarding to be challenged, to break new ground. Plants are like that for me. Maybe it's different for you, but the thrill of seeing life grow between your hands, under your feet, it's magical for me. Especially since this facility is so cold otherwise. All these prefab halls, building block pieces, everything in its place. Plants, flowers, trees. You can only impose so much order on them, you know? They soften the edges and reduce the monotony. But now all I have is this little garden, and it isn't even real, and I guess neither am I. Oh, Chiquita, what are we going to do? It's okay, don't panic. I don't know. We're gonna do Don't Panic because it's a Hitchhiker's reference. You don't know what it's like going between feeling real, alive, and then suddenly realizing you're not. It's terrifying. Listen, let's change the subject, otherwise I won't be able to calm down. You must have some questions, something you'd like to talk about? The dome's your staff dog photo. Let's talk about the dog photo. Oh, that's Charlie, my old dog. Wherever did you find this? Boy, do I miss that old corgi. Poor Charlie, I don't know how long it's been. Before I committed to HC and eventually to do this, I had to give him up. He was the best. I tried to make him a working dog, but to be honest, he was kind of lazy and I wasn't great at training him. Charlie would sort of pretend to listen to me, but he always had his own agenda and I was a sucker for it. He just was too charming, that scruffy little guy. He's probably, well, gone by now, but the farmer who took him was great to him, I know. Good old Charlie. So glad you brought this to me. It's nice to think about the old farm. Helps me focus. I think I can even work harder on these fixes for your ship now. Like all true relationship games, it teaches you that the point of relationships is to be more efficient at whatever your true goal is. Is there anything else you'd care to talk about? Let's talk about the domes. Sure, I can tell you more about the agrodomes before everything went askew. It was quite the place. You probably only saw the main agricultural dome. That was where all the production took place. It was really something. Prior to coming here, we had researched for decades the kind of plants that we should cultivate. We went through so many trials for suitability, nutrition, efficiency. We couldn't bring meat or animals. They were just too costly and difficult to manage. But the food processors could take the plant parts and create new things with them. That technology was headed up by a team that Pierre appointed. My job was to find the right plants, the ones that could be used for hundreds of different things. We actually lost more seeds than we expected during space travel here, so in a way we started behind schedule. Finally, I was able to farm for real, not just to feed myself, but to supply the entire system. I think my parents would have loved it. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about? Nolan, was that the system you were playing Shadows of the Empire on back in the day? Yeah, okay, we can talk about the staff. Although I warn you, I'm better with plants than I am with people. I think one of the reasons I love working with plants so much is their systems. I can understand. People are different. Lab work, farming, it's all complicated and often so hard to predict, but people are just more so. Being the chief at the domes reminded me of that. If I'm being honest, I would have preferred to be in the labs all day, not managing people. I'm not sure I was the best at it. Well, I know I wasn't, although I can't quite remember why. I guess the AI's version of me isn't complete as it should be. I do remember, however, Ashley. She was the chief genetics researcher. She and I didn't always see eye to eye. You know, just before the Rift event, I recall us having quite a heated argument. She wanted to push ahead with a new strain of tuba, and I disagreed. I remember that, Nolan. I'll never forget that moment. It was good. I can't thank you enough for coming to visit. It does get lonely in here, even if it is beautiful. I hope you come back again sometime. You bet. That would be great. It helps a lot to talk about these things and go over all details. It'll keep me sharp so I can help you with your ship. I'm going back to my garden, I suppose. Good luck, Chiquita. I hope to see you again soon. Now, she didn't ask us for a follow-up task. The first two people did. So I wonder if there will still be one for her. If we'll ever get a follow-up with the other two. Back to bed. Back to bed. We are going back to bed. I'm sure if I go in the mess hall, it won't be any different. But I've gone in the mess hall every time, and I refuse to let this be the one time something's different. And I didn't check. It's pretty much where I'm at. Let's go to bed. Let's go to bed. What did you think of Bobcat? Does alcohol actually help with radiation poison? I didn't know it was supposed to. So I don't know how to answer that question, to be completely honest with you. Ah, punctual as always. I see. Well, if you're up to it, we have one more... now I'm doing the computer voice and her voice. Can I get some coffee? I will ensure that your shuttle has a fresh coffee pod ready when you leave. You should come to the core now, so we can get started. Again, I'm gonna check, because I don't want this to be the one time it was different. I'm not sure, can anything really help with radiation poisoning? Finding those plant samples in the agrodome has allowed me to start restocking your food supplies for the trip home. This morning's work report from Leslie indicates that she found some new efficiencies that we can work on making things easier. She made a most unusual comment about my dog Charlie. Apparently the photo you found really cheered her up. Here's hoping we can keep the momentum going with the rest of the work on the ship. Noted. That's interesting. They must absorb things or something. Okay, first we go to the core, and we effectively just go to the core so it can tell us to go to the ship. This is not the most efficient process. Well, today should be an easy choice. There's only one place left to check for now. However, I've been picking up rumblings of another storm on its way. You can access your ship as usual in the South Shuttle Bay. I know that alcohol does not actually help you that much if you're stuck in a blizzard. Like, what it does is thin your blood. Because your blood's thinner, it will move to your extremities faster, so you'll feel warmer. So in the short term, it helps you. Like, if you need to get from a car crash to a building in 10-15 minutes, like, it'll help you. But because it thins your blood and gets your blood moving, which brings heat to your extremities, you lose heat faster. So if you have to, like, wait in the car, it's better to not drink the alcohol. Maybe the antioxidants or something in the grapes. Yeah, that would make sense. There must be something about the way they absorb, the stuff absorb things. Okay, so we've been there. That must be the next game. We have to go there. Okay. This is the only place we can go. We're gonna drive in the car. Do. It's always acid rain here. Every time. Oh, could be the iodine. Though the planet's landscapes is hostile, its core is rich with minerals and special kind of crystals that we can process into fuel. HC did decades of research to understand this crystal and how to exploit it from the energy needs of the colony. I'm not sure why your colleagues chose to call this facility the Caves, but it contains an administration offices that leads to a mining operation. After the Rift event, the Caves have been offline. I need you to investigate and find if there's anything left to process. Oh, if I ever get in an accident in a blizzard, I will try and walk. I will take your advice and get drunk. I didn't say drunk. That might not help. But, like, you know, a little bit of alcohol in the system. But, I mean, that's where the myth comes of, like, the St. Bernard that brings you booze in a blizzard. Pro tip, just don't get into the accident in the blizzard. That's a good point. Bobcat makes an excellent point. This administration building is where Mr. Lumumba. I can't say anything. And his staff work. So far, it seems surprisingly intact. Before we do anything, let's check out Mr. Lumumba's office. It should be the door on your right. I never know with you, Nolan. Okay, we'll start here. Even though I probably can go other places. Let's check out the terminal. Maybe there will be some answers there. This place does not appear. Okay. I'm assuming we have to go to the terminal first and turn everything on. We need to access this terminal, but it appears to need facial recognition to unlock. The system isn't completely accurate. Maybe there's a way to get around it. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. Row upon row of technical books regarding mining. The shelf is covered in mold and dirt. From... There's all these British spellings, too. From the damage in the ceiling. Okay, I'm just gonna say the same thing over again. Can I go find someone's face? Like Hannibal Lecter style? Okay, so that's why it wanted me to start there. Also, pro tip, don't drink before you get into an accident in a blizzard. That's probably true. That might help you avoid the accident. So now the quest is to somehow find this guy's face. This is the command center for the mining facility. All of the actual mining was done by drones. It's much safer that way. Operations staff managed the drones in the mine from here. They tracked blasting, sorting, delivery, everything. There isn't much trace of the staff here, though. That's odd. I don't have any records of an evacuation. Those big displays show the staff real-time movements of the drones, plus general conditions and other data. Unfortunately, that monitor has been damaged, so it won't be of much use to you. Shouldn't matter aside from the loss. Seems to be stuck in some kind of error loop. A warning keeps flashing on the screen. Ventilation failure. That's no good. The lounge area appears surprisingly opulent, even amongst all of the dust and the debris. Those synthetic leather chairs are not cheap. Modern-day mining operations seem much more comfortable compared to the mines of 100 years ago. Hey, here's a photo. There's a low-power photo frame device on the counter. It currently is flashing a photo of the manager, who is smiling. The frame gives a convincing 3D effect. Hey, let's grab it. Bob Gate. The terminal shows an account of all of the drones that were deployed. Their status reads offline. Okay. Let's go back and unlock the computer. I love it. Research Manager Lumumba's terminal contains all of the usual reports and statistics of the mine's operation. There is, however, a voice conversation between him and Director Pierre Tong. I will give you the details. Don't you see what's happening out there? I see just fine. I'm handling it. Pierre, just admit we're all screwed. The Rift event has doomed us. It's not like that. If AF4B/3B has every distress signal we've got firing back home, we're going to be fine. Fine? Colony B is a smoking ruin. Everyone is blaming you, you know. Our genius leader is completely out of his depth. We're going to be fine. We're prepared for this. I'm prepared for this. Those idiots are just freaking out. Just because you're not leading them? Because, oh, what is it? Oh, I have to go. Someone is trapped down in the mines. I have to go. Jean, you can't go down there. Don't be an idiot. The audio file cuts off there. That's all I can extract from the terminal. Be better drivers. Okay. So I think Jean is, or not Jean, I think the guy who was like, I'm leading them all or whatever, was Orange Jumpsuit guy from yesterday. Anyway, we knew there was conflict that went on there. That monitor shows a real-time overview of what's going on in the mines. The blue indicator is where you are right now. Those red areas, though, those indicate humans who shouldn't be in the mines during the operation. Indicate humans. So there are humans alive? They could indicate survivors I couldn't account for. You need to get down there and verify if anyone's still alive. Could people be alive? Could there be people still alive in the mine? Alright, I want to go back in this room real quick and see if anything else works now that we have the screens going. Nope. Does not appear like anything else works. Hey, there's that coffee I wanted. What a sight! That room has been completely demolished. You can head down to the mines, or you can take a look at the equipment up here. There's Sarge! Sarge, do you want to just watch here and then catch up later? That way you can interact with chat. We went to the Agrodome and learned about the lady who was a farmer. And now we have just started the mines, and we're going to learn about the guy who's a miner. So, you really haven't missed anything at all for this location, but we have done another location. Alright, sounds good. Okay. I do want to go down, but I also want to look at the equipment. This sorting chamber, you can still see some of the special drones attached to the pillars up there. They maneuver around to sort the various crystals within the mining aggregate and package them up in safety containers. Okay, this isn't going to say anything different if I go through it again. Okay. There's nothing else to do up here, right? I just want to look real quick. Like, I didn't miss anything. Well, nope. To the mines, then. I'm reading very dirty air down there. It looks like part of the mine suffered a cave-in. It must be very stifling in there. Good thing I have a helmet. There are chips and circuits from one of the excavation drones on the main mine floor. They've been stripped of all their wiring. Well, that's odd. We don't want to exit the mine. Based on those marks and the debris around them, I guess someone has used an explosive to remove the rubble that used to be there. With all the cave-in caused by the seismic activity, it was likely a last resort to escape. All of that? Interesting. Okay, so they tried blowing stuff up so they could escape. There's a warning sign, I think. Refugee station is inaccessible. I'm sure we can find a way to make it accessible. It's a high-powered crushing device that breaks down mining aggregate from the lower chambers. Once the pieces are small and light enough, they get shipped up and sorted in the chamber of the conveyor. Did you give them donuts? You gave them Coke? Coke might be worse than donuts. The mining drone has been crushed by the falling debris and will never mine again. Well, that's sad and depressing. What do we got here? You seem to have scanned a portable data log. It must have gotten accidentally picked up with a mining aggregate. This appears to have belonged to Jean. It appears to be somewhat damaged, but I'm able to pull the fragment from the original audio. Here, I can access it. This is Jean Lumumba, resource manager. I've tried to help out. They got stuck down there. 2 of them. Viktorov and Fisher. As much as I hate to admit it, maybe Pierre was right. This place might be where I die. That's where the log ends. It seems to be the first part of a series of recordings. Well, looks like we're gonna find the recordings then. Okay, I don't think there's anything else here. We need to get down here eventually. The doors are partially open, but they don't budge. Perhaps you can find a way to force them open. I don't think I can force them open with anything that's left in here. I'm assuming we will get that crusher going again eventually. That's where the excavation drones brought the blasted aggregate and loaded it in the automated carts. There's even fouler down there. That drone looked like it failed when it was exposed to more dirt than it was designed for. It was definitely overworked. Okay. That's a collection of motor function parts from the excavation drone, or at least the basics. Many of the small parts have been removed. Okay, so that's two things that have been, like, stripped of stuff. So that makes me think that, somebody was salvaging parts to try to maybe get to where the people are stuck. I don't know. You still see me okay? Very good. This feels better on my back. Another, it's either a warning sign or something, but that's as tall as I am, so that's a really tall sign. The scaling in this part of the game is a little odd. Alright, what we got? Looks like some safety caps were left down there when people left. Okay. Okay, so I can get into the refugee station from there. Let's see what else is here before we do that. Descend to blasting chamber. Let's go to the refugee station first. Ooh. Oop, dead body. See what we got here. Okay, that's how we exit. Those are the remains of the excavation supervisor, Carlotta Viktorov, and surprisingly are well preserved. She must have sealed herself in that refugee chamber. She's holding on to some crude notes, apparently scrawled on the backs of pages to an emergency manual. Those notes read like some kind of last statement. Escape ship needed energy. Came to get my secret stash of processed stuff. Cave-ins forced me in here. Without ventilation, air is finite. Fisher tried to rat me out. Took care of it. Don't want to die in this tomb, but at least the whole nightmare will be over. That's all Supervisor Viktorov managed to write. It seems without a clear air supply, I'm afraid she wouldn't have lasted much longer down there. Well, that was one of the refugees, so we might not be able to save anybody now. So it's one of my favorite Snapchats people made. So the people who made Plague Inc. also made a game called Rebel Inc., where you have to figure out how to stabilize a war-torn region. Wow, that's interesting. That scratched up antique looks like a heavily modified consumer-grade pocket knife. It could probably be used to pry something open. Aha! You know, I believe it belonged to Mr. Lamumda. Perhaps you should mention it to him at the Hollow Chamber site. And we can also use it to get into that other room. So I think now if we go back... Good work. Using the knife to pry open the doors was a smart solution. You can enter now. Yeah, I never found Bobcat either. He's being very, very stealthy about that. There's an empty emergency kit. It's been completely depleted of both rations and medical supplies. Ruh-roh. Hey, look, another recording. The equipment contains a fragment of data log. By the file number, it looks to be the third in the series. I'll read it. Okay, well, we'll be in the middle. Quakes have stopped. This coffin has held steady. No, not a coffin. I'm getting out of here. Pierre, you idiot, if you find this, if I don't make it out, I want you to know that I'm not giving up. Energy fuel. That's my specialty. And I've got an idea to help get somebody off this rock at least. The rest of the log is just broken background noise and then it ends. That seems to be the last part of this particular recording. Okay. So when we go, there'll be a second one somewhere. These are parts from one of the colony's drones, specifically the energy core casings. The cores themselves are missing. So all these parts keep missing from anything we find. Thanks, Sarge. Okay. Let's keep trucking. Oh, okay, so that's why we gotta go in the lower chambers. That makes sense. Sure, you were like, I've got these supplies. No. Let's go. You're in one of the digging chambers, or at least the one that didn't completely collapse. Your signal is weak. Please be careful. Okay, so this should be the other recording we haven't seen. Looks like you found the data log. It appears to be the second in a series. I've pulled the audio. Let's see what you can read. I'm here in the mining caves. I've made it. I've been here for some time. Cave-ins have made it. Return impossible. Victorov, her eyes. So afraid, so manic. That fear. It reminded me to keep going. I'm not giving up. You fool, Pierre. Maybe your pig-headedness is exactly what I need right now. That's all I can recover from this log. Well, those data files suggest that Mr. Lumumba was attempting to escape. I think he probably did. But you still need to confirm what happened down here with the two colonists. Please keep searching. It appears someone removed many of the drone's components, judging by its condition. It was mercifully inoperable at that point. This drone has been heavily excavated for parts and pieces. It looks so helpless there, down in that awful place. There's a body. There's a body. That's geochemist Maya Fisher. It looks like her suit was compromised. It's got several deep slashes throughout. She was likely exposed to toxic air for too long. I'm pretty sure that the other chick killed her because she was going to rat her out. The scan reveals an item in her pocket. A replicated ring in a small box. It looks like a simple wedding band? It's of no use to us, but I find it curious. Well, it seems excavation supervisor Viktorov and geochemist Fisher both met their ends down there. What a lonely place to die. Looks like you've discovered as much as you're going to down there. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's any fuel left for us to process. And now that we're left with the mystery of what happened to Mr. Lumumba, I don't want you to hang around in those mines any longer. Okay, well, we're just gonna make sure there's nothing left. Ooh, chicken fingers. Chicken fingers sound good. Okay, I don't think there's anything left. So if we figure out what happened to him, maybe we can find the fuel. That might be that one building we haven't been able to go to yet. I don't think there's anything else to do here. Yeah, no. And obviously, the person we're going to see tonight is going to be based off of unupdated memories. I wonder if we ever come back to these locations. Or what? Is there anything else to be done here? Nope. Well, the game has kindly informed us that there's nothing else really going on. So we might as well get while the getting is good. Yeah, nothing seems to have changed. I'm not seeing anything different anywhere. Push. I appreciate there's an animation for me pushing. Okay, so this doesn't update. Is Pierre a perv? I mean, we don't technically know. What gave you that impression? That video was cool, Nolan. Alright. I know this is boring, but I just like looking everywhere just to make sure nothing changed up. IDK, he had a weird look. Pierre had a weird look? You didn't... When did you see... You mean the dead body? You didn't see anybody. Oh, okay. Those caves were something entirely unwholesome about... There was something entirely unwholesome about those caves. Yeah, apparently they had a perv in them. There was a moment when I felt my communication link was getting weak. I must admit, I was worried. I didn't want you to lose focus or panic while you were down there, so I didn't say anything. In any case, you did great. Come back to the base and I'll process what you found today, and you can relax. Oh, you mean yesterday? The guy, the orange jumpsuit guy might be Pierre. I can't really remember anybody's name. But yeah, I think you might be right. About that, but I think, I don't really... It would be helpful if I could remember everybody's name, but there's no, like, character list anywhere. I just love these little, like, I'm getting ready to drive my tank. Now I'm driving it. I really do appreciate they give me control over the tank. Not that it does much. Reloading? There we go. Excellent work, Chiquita. You've been successful at every mission so far. This is really going to help us. Come see me as usual, so I can process these findings and plan our next move. To the hallway. Do 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 do. Chiquita, do you hear the storms outside? I hear it. I thought you might. The wind has really picked up and it's getting increasingly hostile out there. The weakening of the planet has caused a violent new storm system to come our way. This is just the beginning. You should still be able to have one of your extracurricular meetings, but I believe your safety is compromised. I'll have to shut things down. Since you went to the caves, you'll visit Mr. Lumumba in the Hollow Sim Chamber tonight. Be mindful this evening. I would hate to see our last remaining home damaged by the way Colony B was. Yeah, the reflection just tears your eyes. I like how the AI is like your extracurricular activities. Like everything keeps getting described so scandalously, and I can't decide if the AI is just that innocent or if the AI is plotting plots. I feel like this is just getting dirtier and dirtier. Alright, let's go to bed and wake up and talk to our person. I still think it's so suspect we never see the face. Chiquita, please wake up. We may not have much time tonight. I was hesitant to let you go in the chamber, but the storm has calmed a bit, and I didn't want you to miss out. I know how much these visits mean to the holograms, so as long as you don't take too long, you should be okay. When your meeting is over tonight, please head straight to your quarters. I fear the storm may be getting worse any minute. Stay safe tonight, Chiquita. We have such a stylish scarf. guys even doing? Y'all are crazy. Here we go. Here we go. Look at the way this guy's just leaning on his computer. His Sarge ever, sorry. Well, look at you. The AI gave me a bit of info, but it's great to actually meet you. Did you make it back? Every voice ends up being Southern, and I don't know why. Did you make it back from the caves? I'd take it. How? Oh, you made it back from the caves. I take it. How did it go? Great. Not sure. It was awful. I'm not sure. You're not? Well, you're still alive, aren't you? That's a good sign. You're doing something right. It's trying to make my voice deeper, and it doesn't work. You know, I've been thinking. The AI has us all working to get that escape ship upgraded and get you both off this planet. And I just can't shake that feeling like all of this could have been avoided. That you're going through all of this for no reason. Sometimes even now I get preoccupied thinking about old arguments or wondering what we could have done differently. Do you ever do that? Do you ever think about what might have been? Right, Sarge? He does. He's like a grown-up version of that guy from the Magic School Bus. Of course I do. Everyone does. It's so hard, isn't it? When you know you could have prevented something. When you could have done more. I know. Now I know too well that the reason we're all in this situation, and I'm saying this as a hologram for Pete's sake, is because of the Rift event. He also looks like the guy from Captain Planet, you're right. All the kids from Magic School Bus grew up to be. I love that theory. Look at that Adam's apple. Despite all of HC's studies and decades of research, all of our info, this planet is just went through and through a wrench and everything. So many dead. Senselessly so. We had this whole operation running like clockwork. Well, most of the time. But what we were doing was amazing. Of course, HC-247A isn't the first successful terraforming project, but we were supposed to be the largest and the first with boots on the soil from the get-go. Before we'd just have those orbital platforms slowly nuking the planet with greenhouse gases and then other drones taking care of the rest. But it took decades, more than this project was supposed to take, and you know, Earth wasn't in a state to wait long. I don't know. What do you think? Did we do the right thing coming out here, setting up this new project, risking everything? Bobcat plot twist, Chiquita is Miss Frizzle. Chiquita's I could be a hologram. You don't know. This game keeps making me think. I know we were talking about Soma, but it makes me think of what was the space station one with holograms I played? Tacoma. This makes me think of Tacoma. If you guys were around for that stream too. I really like Tacoma. I might play that again sometime. Went full M Night. I think dumping things. I think Bobcat is right about the Captain Planet talking about the Earth thing. I don't know. Oh yeah, we had to. You're right, of course. We were the best for the job, and the colony was the best of the bunch. Even just to build the processing facilities, we did it in such short time. It was a real feat of engineering. That was another of Pierre's designs, by the way. The director made sure we could process the crystals here from day one. And the drones built everything from the prefab parts we hauled back from Earth. But those drones down there in the caves, they were really put to work. We need them running 24/7 just to keep up. Maybe that's what we missed. Maybe we miscalculated the drones or just couldn't bring enough. But listen to me, I could turn this over in my head forever. We just met. So Chiquita, let's focus on the present. You must have some information you need or you wouldn't have come here. What should we discuss? My other theory is that the 4 people who are dead, whoever you pick to romance is going to end up being alive. Because we have not found the bodies of any of the 4 people. And, like, he mysteriously, we don't know what happened to him. We don't know what happened to Winnie. Or orange jumpsuit guy. Or the agricultural lady. And there was remnants of stuff happening there. So, like, I think it's going to be whoever you pick that you fall in love with is going to end up being alive. That side profile. I love the side profile. It cracks me up. Young and fresh in front of and the side. Let's show, as always, anytime you're having the first conversation with a romantic hopeful, you start by showing your knife. Well, I'll be. That does jog my memory. I can tell you more about where that comes from. Oh, Sergeant, I know what Captain Planet is. I gotcha. Captain Planet, he's a hero. It was actually my brother who gave me that knife. Well, the first version of it. I think I had it for over 20 years. One of those tools broke, and I'd find a tutorial on how to fix or replace them, and when I did so poorly and cut myself, I started taking it seriously. My brother said the tool like this was the best kind of friend. You always keep it close and looked after it, and it would always be there for you. This sure does bring back some memories. Sometimes you think too much and miss the easy solutions. Seeing this again, maybe helping you with the ship isn't as complicated as I thought. It's about making things simpler, not more convoluted. Captain Planet is like Nolan was saying, it's an 80s cartoon that was here in the States. He is a hero. His theme song, Captain Planet, he's a hero, gonna take pollution down to zero. It was like, there are these kids, and they each had a ring, and the ring had powers. It was earth, wind, fire, water, and heart. And when their powers combine, he becomes Captain Planet. I'll find you clips. It's pretty good. I mean, it's like peak. I don't even know how to explain it. It was just great. What's also great is, I think it was Funny or Die had like a spoof series with Don Cheadle, and it was a riot. No one ever cared about Heart Kid. Sent the Wikipedia article. Okay. I think I have some ideas. Thank you, Chiquita, for bringing this to me. It's given me some inspiration. What else is on your mind tonight? Tell me about your job. Well, the AI probably told you I was the resource manager, but sure, I can explain it a bit better. I was the person responsible for mapping out how to use resources available to any given project, natural resources mostly. Some of the bean counters at HC thought I was like them, just a guy putting numbers in columns, making it all add up. But I never saw my job that way. I always been an explorer. I like to find things. I like to mess around with them too. Like, you remember when a bunch of idealistic kids tried saving the planet were unambiguously the heroes? I mean, yeah, it was very on point. So figuring out how to mine the crystals on this planet, turn them into fuel, so we could be self-sufficient, that was the challenge, and a satisfying one. I had great stuff, though. Wonderful people. Great staff, not great stuff. That makes way more sense. Wonderful people to work with, even though I wasn't fond of having a desk job. They made it worthwhile. Then the Rift event affected everything, and it put the whole project into chaos, and so many of those good people suffered. But you were down there, weren't you? What did you find? I found data logs. Did you? Well, these look to be from me to Pierre. I don't sound very well. That doesn't give me confidence in what you'll find next time around. What else is on your mind tonight? Your life. My life? You mean before this planet? Look at that smile! Look at that smile. I guess I have a few adventures to tell. Why not? Bobcat's still in the orbital ring. Been working with HC. Before working with HC, I wasn't crazy about being in an office, you know? Even as a kid, I preferred being outside. There was a group of us when I was younger. They used to host these challenges. They were like game shows just for us. Each of us was active, outdoorsy, and adventurous, but with various talents. Someone would set up that month's challenge, and the rest would agree to meet it. Like, one time Haley decided we'd do a hang gliding competition. None of us had done that before, and we had 3 weeks to prepare. So we all joined classes or found someone to teach us or taught each other, and then we met on the bluffs outside the city. The goal was to glide the farthest and land safely. Haley went first. That was the rule. Whoever issued the challenge had to go first, and we all went in turn. I'll be honest, I didn't prep as much as I should have, and things were different then. Too much time, too little responsibility. I was out having fun. So I went and made a big show of it, like I was going to convince everyone I was ready. But boy, I was not ready at all. Not by a long shot. Out of the 5 of us, I glided the 3rd farthest, but I also did so right into an old barn settlement. Broke my leg in 12 places. After that, I learned to take things a bit more seriously and to prepare. Listen, Chiquita, I don't know how much power the AI still has or how much this visit is using, but just be sure we should probably say goodbye for now. Do me a favor, though, won't you? Put my mind at ease and try to figure out what happened. I don't want to fade away thinking we doomed ourselves from the start. I will. I appreciate it. Hopefully when I see you again, the 4 of us will have made more progress. But until then, stay safe out there. What are you guys even talking about? I cannot keep up with you anymore. Elon Musk. Let's see, what time is it? It's almost time for Dave's stream. Okay, we'll go to bed. Oh man, looks real beat up now. Day 5. Chiquita! Chiquita, wake up! I hate to be the bearer of bad news so early, but it appears we have a problem. What's up? That storm I mentioned moved in very quickly and violently while you were sleeping. It passed directly through here. The colony suffered some damage. I'm doing the wrong voice. You probably heard quite a din. Colony A is mostly intact, but it was a close call. I'm afraid you won't be able to set out anywhere today. It's just too dangerous outside, and I need your help here. We need to make sure our equipment is still operational. Please come with me. Come with you or come to see you? Oh no, can I not get in the mess hall? As you can see, the place is a real mess. You're lucky that your room was unscathed. In any case, I've unlocked the ship hangar, and I need you to go in and make sure the ship is okay. Let's do it. Haven't been in here before. Ooh. Okay, the hangar doesn't seem too bad. I hope the ship is all right. Thruster casing appears to be intact. The booster shell looks undisturbed as well. I don't detect any loose components. Oh, that's good. The escape ship appears to be okay. That's such a relief. Next, let's make sure the shuttle is still functioning. Leave the hangar. I did not read the rest of that message. I got excited and hit the button too soon. But I think it wanted me to go this way. Nolan, you conspiracy theorist. Okay, let's see what we have here. Nothing impacted, the shuttle itself. The bay looks unharmed. Great. Okay, the shuttle is still functional. We can send you out on missions again later. Now, let's just confirm that the holosim chamber hasn't taken any damage. Head to the chamber just outside of there, please. Well, it's still in standby mode. My own connection suggests no degradation or loss of data. Everything else checks out too. That's a relief. We managed to make it through this quite unscathed. We should be thankful. Still, the storm is still out there, and we can't go anywhere today. You might as well head back to your quarters. Yeah, but everything's, like, in pieces. Can I really never get into the mess hall again? Oh, I can. There's just a cabin in front of it. Okay, we're good. Let's check out the mess hall. The mess hall looks the same! It's unfortunate that your trip to the caves didn't yield much in the way of usable resources. Still, it was illuminating, if not a little unsettling. Unfortunately, Mr. Lumumba couldn't do much with what we found, but in his report today, he did mention some new ideas for processing fuel that might help. In fact, he specifically cited his conversation with you as an inspiration. He really seemed motivated to do his best. Thought you should know. Still, there's some time yet, and perhaps Mr. Lumumba's ideas can help us get to the escape ship properly and get it properly fueled in a more creative manner. That's good. Might as well go to bed, I guess. Chiquita, are you okay? I have some news for you. You've been exhausted. You fell asleep and have been there all day. I'm sure you needed it, so I didn't bother you. I completed all of my internal system checks. Thankfully, the colony is intact for now. We should be able to get you out there again tomorrow, but I know today has been particularly stressful and, well, I was hoping to do this another time, but considering today's events, I just couldn't wait. For what? For my surprise, of course, and since you couldn't go out today, what a better time. You see, I noticed how much more at ease you've been since getting to spend time with the hologram recreations. And to be honest, they seem to benefit from interacting with you, even though they are merely simulations. So I prepared a special program for you inside the holosim chamber, something purely extracurricular. Go on. Well, you've been working so hard, I didn't want you to expire prematurely, so this is meant as a fun diversion. With whom would you like to spend... Okay. You guys gotta help me here. I want audience participation. Winnie is... Who do we want to go spend time with? Winnie is the avid reader. She's the one that wrote that story. Jean is probably the orange jumpsuit guy, who's kind of creepy. Then we have the other two. One is the botanist, who really liked farming, and the other one is the guy with the jacket we just talked to. Who should we go hang out with? Who are you guys leaning towards right now, romantically? What do we got? Anyone have any opinions? No one's like, I like side-eyed Jean. John. He was a side-eye guy. We can go with John. Sarge didn't like him, though. I'll give it another couple seconds. And then I'll pick. Alright. You got also like a solar smuggler persona that you like a lot. Alright. Well, you're the only one who said anything, so we're gonna pick Jean. Or Jean. I also want to talk to him anyway, because I want to know more about what's going on there. Okay. I'll let you talk to Jean and make sure he's available. I'm sure he's looking forward to it. You have to enter low power mode so you can use the chamber, of course. I'll speak to you again in the morning. Have fun in there, Chiquita. I hope you enjoy this little bit of downtime. Gonna go have some computer downtime. Oh, we picked Jacket Guy. I was wrong. I think you knew who it was, though. Well, I picked the raw. This was not who I was expecting, but I liked him. Did you know about this? The AI has loaded this amazing simulation of the Aurora Borealis, probably seen in northern Canada. I'm making the assumption based on the trees here and the way the northern lights look, but I could be wrong. Still, this sure is a beautiful sight, don't you think? It's great, it's strange, I don't know. It's great. I've had the pleasure of seeing them a few times back on Earth during some resource expeditions. I thought they were magical. The lights are caused by gas particles colliding with charged particles from the sun. Almost a happy accident, in a way. They feel like something you'd want to capture in a jar and look at forever. They're just another... You want to capture light in a jar? I don't know how long we have in here tonight, but I'm glad we're able to meet. Did you want to talk about anything? Well, how are things? Oh, you mean with me? I'm just fine. I've just been banging my head trying on solving your fuel issues, that's all. The main problem so far is just math and physics, getting enough fuel and the right rates, the right mix that won't explode. There are so many constraints in this escape ship, and you're going to be pushing the limits of what's possible with it. It's a shame the fuel reserves in the colonies appear to be scarce and resources are difficult to find. Still, the challenge is invigorating. I have not played The Long Dark. You know, out here in this, looking at this landscape, makes me wonder why we even sequester ourselves in buildings all the time. My favorite part of my job is the research, the exploring, having someone to share space like this as well. It's so much better. It sure is. Yeah. Just look out and feel a part of nature again. I think that's really important. So what else did you want to talk about? I'm worried. Really? Oh, here and I am going on and on about myself again. I want to hear about what's going on with you. So what's bothering you at the moment? I mean, being alone is the point of the game, right? So we'll say being alone. Okay, I get that. I don't really think you're alone, but let's talk about it. Maybe I can help. Well, if it'll help, try thinking about all the folks back home who are watching this mission, who are thinking about us. The Erdani Epsilon B project was for them too. So you're not alone, in a way. How did I hurt his feelings? I mean, like, I want to say I feel alone so he can be like, I'm here. But maybe you mean something else. Do you usually prefer to be by yourself? Sometimes. That's normal, of course. I could never make up my mind, which is probably why I do what I do, or did, I guess. Aha, have fun, John. Thank you. Catch you later. John is, Great Canadian Guy is a streamer. He's been more on Twitch than YouTube, I think. But if you go to his channel, it should, I should link you to his stuff. That's just guys. What are you guys even talking about? So, else you want to talk about? What? Some of this dialogue in this game is weird. Well, every day must be stressful. I think it was a good idea to give you a bit of a break in here. Well, since it's just you and the AI out there, how's it going? Are you getting along with it? Definitely. Well, that's definitely a good sign. You need to work together to get the results you need. The thing with the AI is that it isn't necessarily the same for everyone. It adjusts itself to be more relatable. Maybe Pierre mentioned that to you already. Not everyone could reconcile with that. Me, I didn't pay too much attention. I was used to AIs that were more task-based and less conversational. Never talked to the AI very much. Now that I think about it, I wonder what it thought of that. I wonder if it thought anything at all. Still, well, I guess you've had to get used to making do with less than ideal companions lately. Oh, I think he's implying himself, so I'm going to say not really. That's nice of you to say, but let's be honest. Back home on Earth, that's where you'll find real companionship again. In the meantime, though, I'm glad we get these chances to talk. I know it's not ideal, but it's something. And the AI, for its part, is keeping you alive out there, which gives me hope. You know, one fault I have with this simulation is that it looks, sounds, and even smells like the real thing. But it doesn't feel quite right. It's not even cold out here. I must admit, that's a bit disappointing. He's not, Sarge. He was self-deprecating. He was fishing for a compliment. That when you go, I guess the people around here aren't really fun. That's when you're like, I think you hate me, but I want you to validate me by telling me I'm great. Like, that's 100% what that sentence was. But we make do with what we can, don't we? Maybe right now, that's good enough. So, while we're here, I wanted to ask something. You could have asked any one of us in here. I'm glad you chose me. This really is something, but I wanted to know, why me? Why not one of the others? Well, for starters, I meant to pick someone else, and I didn't remember your name. But that's not an option. So, I'm going to go ahead and say I'm not sure, because I didn't mean to pick him. Sure, I understand. I just thought I'd ask. Well, Chiquita, it's been a real pleasure, but you need to continue your mission tomorrow, and you'll need the rest. Remember what I said. Stay focused out there. I'm sure you're doing great. With luck, we'll get another opportunity to speak again soon. At least I hope so. Me too. That's great to hear. Good night, Chiquita. Take care. Yeah, he is sulky. But most companions in games like this are sulky. They're written to be that way. Games like this are written for people who want to swoop up and rescue someone. I usually find. Alright. Thanks, Bear. Thanks for that reminder. Well, his flirt game is terrible. I'm probably not going to go talk to him again. I'm probably going to talk to one of the ladies next time. Burr is here. Is Dave streaming yet? Out of curiosity. "6 a.m. That's when I like to wake up." Yep, he is streaming. Okay, cool. We'll go check out his stream here in a little bit. Chiquita, what did you think of that special simulation last night? It was... No comment. No, it was great. That's wonderful to hear. I thought you could use a pick-me-up after the stress of last week. In any case, a week has already passed, and as the storm increases activity is shown, our situation remains difficult. We still have a lot to work to do. Come see me once again. Yeah, Dave started. We'll go check out his stream in a second. I just want to see what the next leg of this stream is going to be. We've been going almost 2 hours, so... We'll go raid him here in a second. Just, I would say we'd go to John after he was hanging out here, but I'm pretty sure he just streams on Twitch now. And YouTube doesn't like Twitch links. With the week already gone, we need to step up things a bit. The recent storm has me worried. The holograms have made some progress with the escape ship, but it just isn't ready yet. I'm afraid we're gonna have to send you out this week, but there's some resources we need badly. We can access the medical wing of Colony B, which might get us some necessary medical supplies. You can also head to Tower Ecom's relay. Oh, okay, so we're gonna go back to all of the other places and learn more about the other people. That makes sense. That makes sense. Sarge. Nolan is correct. Okay, so I think I'll actually leave this decision for the next stream. That way we can kind of start out and do this. I don't know when I'll stream again. Let's see, next week. It definitely won't be Monday. I might stream Tuesday or Wednesday. It'll depend on some things. If you go to our Discord, the PH Discord, Nightbot is up, so I think I have a Discord command. I do. So if you go to, I think everybody here is in my Discord. But if you go to our Discord, is Nightbot gonna work? Nightbot. Nightbot doesn't like me. That's okay. But I wanted to head here. But that link does not appear to be working either, so, you know, that's good. I will find a link to Dave then. But we're gonna go read Dave. Again, I'm pretty sure everybody in the chat. Yeah, Nightbot has brought us great shame. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure everybody here has access to my Discord. If not, I know you all are all on Discord, so go ahead and just DM me and I'll get you an invite link if for some reason you're not there. But we're all gonna go, if you want, obviously, here. Oh, thank you, Sarge. You're the best. And we'll all go here. But thank you all so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. And Discord, I'll let you know when I'm going to stream this again. This has been a lot of fun. And I will talk to you all soon.